I think we can start if everybody can receive it. Okay, Rodney asked me to tell you something about the Vox Humana or the tremolo in a reed organ. I have no idea why he asked me, maybe because he knows I have a reed organ with the Vox Humana. So let's try to tell you something about it. Let me first introduce myself. As you can read, my name is Joop Rodenburg.
Hello, Joop.
Thank you, Louis. I've been living near to Louis, so I know him. To be honest, he's one of the, and some in the back, that were the only persons I knew before coming over to Canada. I'm living in the Netherlands. It was for me a great opportunity to be able to come over, to be part of this meeting and to see what's going on and to meet several of you. It was a great pleasure and is still a great pleasure to talk to you, to know who you are and to get to know each other. That's real great after having been working with you so long time, about I think 15 years from now. From now. Okay, and now look at my watch. I feel a bit in the problem. My boss always told me when I had to give a presentation for my work, never stay between the wild and the food. And I know at the end of the afternoon it's a bit hard to keep your attention to the presentation, so I try my best. Good. Regarding the Vox Humana or the tremolo, how did I get involved with the Vox Humana? To be honest, the first reason, at home my parents had an SD, and in that SD I saw at a certain moment when I was a child already, a small marking of Vox Humana tremolo. Oh great. With a date on it, 1865. And already then I was wondering, what does it mean? And with the second date, because for some reason 1869, and I had no idea what it meant. That was not the only reason why I became a member of the Reed Organ Society, but in old issues of the Reed Organ Society quarterly, the bulletin at that moment, there are several articles already, and the first I read was from Mr. Green in the Reed Organ Society of November 1885. He wrote already about it, and that was my first information about the background of it. A very valuable article of 4 pages, with lots of pictures. Then later, John Morningstar commented on it. That was earlier. I found it less valuable, but okay. 1984. Then Vernon Neufeld in 1984. These 3 articles were very valuable for me to give the start. Later I came across several Vox Humanas when I was working with Louis. He had boxes full of Vox Humanas, and he allowed me to unpack them, make pictures of them and sort them out and try to learn from it. And of course I'm a member of the Dutch Reed Organ Society, and we have our magazine that's called Vox Humana, and a couple of months ago I published there a small article about the Vox Humana, and I guess that was the reason why you contacted me. Good. Okay, first the name Vox Humana. Why is it called the Vox Humana? Then I go to the patent information I can find about the Vox Humana. And in the patent of Mr. Carpenter, we will come to him, he wrote the patent of 1865. There was written, he states, one of the principal ornaments of music known as the tremolo, and which is peculiar, effective with the voice, has been hitherto beyond the compass of instrumentation. Okay, he says, they tried to imitate it in an instrument, but not with a lot of success. And here again, he refers to accomplish this vibration or shake of the note, as rendered by the human voice. Again and again, it's referred to that the tremolo in your voice should be imitated in some way by the organ. And Mr. Green, in his article, refers also to it, that when you listen to the music of the 19th century, the late 19th century, then the voice is used in a different way than we are used to at this moment. And they liked kind of music we maybe find a bit over the top. And that specific element try they to imitate with this piece of equipment. And later, this is the patent of 1865, and in 1867, another guy, I will come to him, also said, Louis Lafayette, similar to the tremolo in the human voice. Again and again, they try to imitate the human voice. That's special item. Okay. Let's have a look. Are those the only patents that have been registered? No. My screen is now full, but the list is far longer. It starts, the first I could find was from Mr. Louis Lafayette in 1856. Then for me as a European, very strange that after 56 until 67, what did you Americans do? No idea. But then it was quite silent. And then after 67, a lot of development was coming up. And then we read the names of Mr. Lafayette, Carpenter, Hoddock, Carpenter, Lomas, Kurgan, Lomas, Needman, Lomas, Mr. Fuller. Did anybody hear from Fuller, Mr. Fuller?
Yeah.
Have heard of him? Where?
Yeah, Esti.
Esti was
He's the
son-in-law of Esti, of Jacob Esti, and he was a general in the Civil War and became the manager of Esti, and he developed a number of patents. And then here, the most known, we don't see in the list yet, but we'll come to it. But you see, a lot of activity has taken place there. First, let's have a look at the first tremolo, the Louis tremolo. To be honest, I didn't see it yet until now. But I know from Mr. Green he had a Spang melodeon. I couldn't find any pictures of it, and he published a picture of the Vox Humana that he found in his melodeon, and this label has been published here larger, and you see several patents, 56, 67, no, 62, 67, 68, 68, 67 again, and mind the name. There is also the name of Mr. Hammond & Co. Mr. Hammond & Co. was a producer and a manufacturer of lots of parts for reed organs, and we come to him later also. Very odd. This kind of tremolo I know, with the blades going on. But this kind of tremolo, that's odd. Here, some wood, and then some blade square to it. Did anybody of you see that before? Yes, I know in the vedette, but that's a different story. You come to it? No? If you come across, please tell me. I want to see some pictures. Okay, then going back in this list, Mr. Louis Lafayette. I had to name him, but I don't have any picture of him. Then Mr. Carpenter. What about Carpenter? Carpenter was a very busy man. Riley Carpenter. Riley Carpenter is not the carpenter who started the company later in Brattleboro as a competitor of Esti, but another carpenter. And I know, I have been contact with you, you are sorting it out, and I'm going, a great article, writing, okay, you will have some information about it. Yes? Mr. Carpenter was very busy. In June 1865, he lived in New York, made a patent for the tremolo attachment, later 66, 67, 67, 68, 69, 69, 69, 69, living in New York, Brattleboro, Chicago. An inventor, you said, has never sat on his shoes. He travels along, is busy, trying to work out ideas, and you will see also that his idea, you will find it with Esty, with Burdett, other companies. And where his connections were is unclear, but his ideas are still valid. Okay, let's go to the first example. The first example of his 1865 patent, I found it in a nice instrument with this label. Everybody seen this label before? Adriaan, you have. Yes, you have. Because I found it, I knew it is in an ST with 3 treadles. And I asked several of you, do you have that ST? At last I came across one in Chicago, and I know the guy who has it because, Don, where are you? You restored it, yes. Yeah. You restored it, but I couldn't get the pictures of it, but I got your information that it's also in, it's also in an ST double rank. Let's have a look, what is in that patent? The official expression is, in the patent is said that Vox Humana imparts an undulation in addition to that of the note, so that the progress of the note to the ear may be illustrated by conceiving it by carrying it over a waving, unsteady railwheel instead of a level and even one. That's not a very exact explanation of what you are creating. So in the later patents you don't find this sentence anymore, but it means that it's not going straight, but it's moving a bit. And then going, what did he mean? He wanted to add a revolving or swinging vane or beater, but a vane. There must be a vane in the instrument. And where needed to be placed under the cover, in the space that's usually vacant behind the keyboard as well. And most important, it is not in the airflow to the between the bellows and the reed. It must be outside. Okay, still very vague. But the picture is very clear. No, also not. First I had it in this way, that you recognize, but then the text is no longer visible. Mr. Carpenter, read organ patented June 27. This picture will stay in all patent information until 69. Okay, and then also in the catalog of ST, then they are telling us, in the 3 pedal, you see this very complicated mechanism I'm interested in. And this treadle, you use it to wind up a clock mechanism that's going to start to make it swing. Yeah? And then complete information that is unique, and there have been several court cases already been to determine and to specify that ST is the owner. I don't believe them because it's all marketing information. Mr. Green had found out in his article, but don't ask me when he found out, that in the beginning ST paid, had an agreement with Riley, that they were making 1,000 Vox Humanas, and Riley got $2 for every Vox Humana that was going to be placed. It's quite an amount in those days. Yeah? But have a look, this mechanism is very complicated. That's not very cheap. Yeah? Okay, let's go and see the first example. Yes. Here, I found in the Ross database, this is in the Fisk Musical Instrument Museum, Claremont University. My apologies, I don't have a better picture, but you can see something. And then we go to an SD double bank, first owned by Nelson and now by Adriaan in the Netherlands. And I was able to visit it and take it apart. He allowed me to do. And the stop name is already Fox Humana. And here is that special treadle. And that's for the swell and nothing to do with it. But a beautiful instrument. Okay, let's first have a look. What is then what happens when you use the treadle? Then the following is occurring. This clock mechanism here is a spring that's going to be winded, and some tension comes then, because when you are using your treadle, this one is going back and forward to use it to wind this up, and this one is there to keep it in a steady position. You will see it in the small film I have. And here from the bottom you see there's a real complicated mechanism. Very nice. A clock, short clock, lightning clock. Yeah? Okay, let's have a look. Oh. Hold on. Okay, here someone is using the treadle. This is not yet going on, because now this was the winding. Now you pull it like you pull the stop, and now there you go. And also for one part of the reeds on the treadle. There you go. And now again someone is going to be treadling, because you have to do it to continue. You see, here it goes. He stops it. Now again it's going to be used. He blocks it, and there you see the mechanism. Very nice. But when you think about mass production of reed organs, this is unpayable to be used in a mass production environment. But in those days, it wasn't yet mass production. Not in the sense we saw later. Okay. Okay, when was this, or what was the origin of this patent? 1865. Okay, and then we go to our well-known ST instrument of later date, and then we still find this tremolo, a complete different shape and different working, because the motor of this Fox Humana is quite different. No longer the clock. So I couldn't find any reference where the clock has been patented, and when it stopped, and when the normal motor mechanism we see in later models, when that started, I couldn't find a reference for it. All you can do is look at the instruments. At a certain moment you find something normal. We find normal. Okay. And here you see a standard SD Fox Humana. Okay, a bit torn apart, but and here is the name on it. Okay, let's go to the next version of that patent. Mr. Carpenter wrote a second reissue, or a reissue, the second version. The text is completely copied and extended. Removed is the sentence with the railway, and added is, yeah, for us a very clear explanation, and added common vibration to the air before entering the air passages. It was already in the first one. And also the side of the blades are not important, so it may be this size, it may be that size, but it's very important. It's outside the airflow between the bellows and the reed. That's quite important. Outside. So yeah, and it's still on the treble side, but it will extend to all the notes of the scale. So 3 points. There must be a vein outside the trunk, and oh yes, here it comes. When you have here the inners of your reed organ, that tremolo is not allowed to sit so or so, but with right angles to the keys and parallel to the line of reeds. Now the question: how is the waving sound? How is it produced, in fact? Does it come through that by the veins the air is flowing and then also the sound is going to flow and waving? Or is it another mechanism? How is it produced?
Sound reflection?
I think so. In fact, my opinion is, in fact, it goes back to the, has to do with the Doppler effect. That the veins are reflecting the sound, going on and on. In fact, is that the physical explanation for it, what happens. And then that explains also why the veins may be that size, but also may be that size. Although, when it's this size, it sounds a bit moderate. Okay, and then there is a third issue, a reissue, and you have the impression, when you put, I have printed out the complete patterns and just gone through the differences, then you have the impression something worked on it for some legal explanation, that some sentences had to be more specific and to the point. And you read also about several court cases that have been there. I couldn't find information yet, but there must be information about Esti and all its court cases in this period. Okay. Big one? Yes, court cases. Court cases to be the owner of a special effect. Okay, then in the later years there came smaller patterns, like here you have one vein, but there is also a pattern that just above it, two veins working together with it, that the stop mechanism of a Fox Humana, you can't see it here, but you can do it by a stopper in this way, you can do it in a stopper in this way, by this way, and all sorts. There is also a lot about, we'll see some of them. Okay, Mr. Carpenter, you went on. Oh no, not. Okay, Mr. Fuller before. He had a patent of a stop mechanism, because when the veins were going on, you needed a certain moment for the musical effect to stop it at a precise moment. Okay, you have to pull it, then to activate it. What happens when you activate it? This one is going below. There is a pivot going down to open the valve. And when you withdraw it, this coming back stops this one and closes the valve. And you sent me a picture of it where you had it, and the pivot that needed to be here going downstairs is no longer there, of course. But you can put it in this way and quite easy to understand how it worked. Okay, Mr. Carpenter went on. 16.7. This one. Yes, was in one of the instruments I got a picture of. This one from Ned, worked on a Burdette. And this had this specific pattern. And you can see the label. Here, combination organ, Celeste organ with their improved tremolo. So, and here is the motor of it, and this is very odd. It's not a piece of wood. I don't know the English expression for it. A cable from a motor. Someone, how did you call it?
An axle.
Huh?
An axle?
Is it carry air?
Yeah.
Carry air to tube?
No, carry air. Just to make it that you are able to bring the move from here to another place.
Flexible.
Yeah, flexible. Yeah. Yeah. And the first thing I thought was this. Let me see. Yeah, okay. And this has to do not with the motor, this patent, it had to do with the way how the tremolo works. The tremolo is now the airflow from outside to the reeds is now completely open. When it turns, it's closed for a bit, and then open and closed. So then it sounds like a little bit as a beater, but less strong, a little bit milder. Some of you have used this kind of instrument. I thought was not the only one who has a budget of this model. 1 manual and a half. Yeah, heard the effect?
At the organ, yes.
Yeah? And can you indeed hear the tremolo effect?
It's not restored, plays very weakly, so not so.
Yeah. Okay. And here is, let me see that I'm one page. Yes? Now to another example, and this is another example of the instrument, picture from Merlin. Yes, thanks. And here you see again of Mr. Carpenter, his tremolo, half open, half closed. But now it's just a tube, half open, half closed, but no longer in that sealed box. Just in the open air. Here with the connection and with the motor. And the first time when you see it, you think, okay, it's something special in that kind of tremolo. No, it was the motor. In the motor, there is a patent. This motor has here a kind of valve, can also be at the other side. But look here, it has a very special construction on the four sides. When it blows, it's going in here, and then it's going out here, 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 and here. So it makes that it's going to turn in that way. And don't you have an example in your instrument that's working in this way? Yeah. And it's going very well. Yeah. But again, looking at the production cost of it, the question is whether you can use it in a production environment. Okay. Let's have a look then at the later models we come across quite frequent. When I take just one from a mass production instrument, I guess, not a very high qualified special instrument, then I come across here with a patent info. And there are 4 labels we come across quite frequent. And one of them is this one from the Hendrik at 885, Hendrik Fox Humana from Mr. Ingalls in Worcester. Patented July 1885. Very remarkable. That's quite of this size. It's round. Here, the airflow going in with a valve closing it and air to the bellows. Okay. Yes. You have also a different shape you come across. Oh, here it is also. There's this one. And then the information is a little bit limited. Patented July 1885. Exactly the same. What is special with this? Look in the patent info. You read it all? Okay. Yeah? Very quick. Yeah. I need to be careful with my time, do we? Don't know why.
I need some more.
Okay, you got it. No, the patent is very well illustrated. It's very nice to go through it and to see all the different details. Very, very nice. But then, when you look, why did he create this patent? What's the purpose of it? Until now, we had to do, the tremolo need to be perfect. It need to imitate. It need to be well designed. Why? For aesthetical reasons. But now, We are in a different time, 1885. Why did he make it? I make the motor head round and cylindrical in shape you want to have upon the outside for the purpose of decreasing the cost of manufacturing. That was a simple reason. Purely because thousands of those need to be made. All within the company, and to sell it to others, that they don't have to invest in special guys who work on it. And lots of different brands were using these ones from Ingalls, just buying it. Don't ask me why, but I myself have a Dominion and gone through several Dominions, and then I see also that the Dominion made his own Fox Humana, very typical, but without any patent info, but with the same principle. No, not with this principle, but with the motor head. And then, the second you come across quite frequent, oh no, Rodney, I didn't dare to open it yet, so I did it at home.
Okay.
So you see it, just a motor head. This is wood or some very flexible wood, very easy to do, very easy, quite a lot of work I think. And then there's a few other examples here with the label of Hendrik, there with the label Hendrik Fox Humana, and in the Netherlands I found another one with here patent with the number of the USA, with here maybe the manufacturer Mr. Steunenberg in Almelo, that's a town in the Netherlands. I think he sold it, he didn't create it, I can't believe that, because it's very unknown. Yeah, it was on my label, yes. It was in your work set, yes. Thank you very much, Louis. I'm very grateful, yeah. To be honest, Louis has been very helpful here, and I thank you again.
I didn't know.
You didn't know? No. There must be some surprise in this event. Then the second, 1888. Hammond came up with a patent in November 1888. In that format you come across, and in that format you will see it. And what special did Hammond then make? You can see the way of, you find them differs a bit. Sometime with here some leather, some with a metal closure, a wire. Here with the wire, there the wire is gone. This is a very old one. And that's very nice that those were not all made by Hammond, I believe. Because these three are all of the same brand. And you know which? From Weaver. Yeah, you recognize them. And they didn't buy them with Hammond. So how the interchange between the different companies was is not clear. Okay, then here the patent info. And again, why did he create it in this way? The object of my invention is to simplify as much as possible. Because a piece of wood, bending it in this way, is quite complicated. Still complicated. It is easier to take a piece of wood, then you make a hole in it, and that's it. Then create this one, put it inside, you close it, and it's done. So, to lessen the cost of making the motor head, and also in this patent, and the stop valve. Okay, he also described how the stop valve is working there, but that's not so very sophisticated. He explains how that easily can be done by a pivot who opens it. Okay, and some examples. You have it with the stamp on the front. You also have it with the label on the upside, Fox Humana, patented November 6, 1888. And just by accident, Nelson, I got from you a picture without a reference to the patent info. As you can see, it's exactly the same. It looks like the same. Okay. You are still awake? Okay.
Still spinning.
Good. Then, the improved Fox Humana. Yeah. What do about when you hear improved? Is it very old? It's very new? It must be newer than the original one. So I thought this in the later days of bell. And therefore I asked you, I want to see that bell during lunch. Have a look. And that old bell is an improved Fox Humana. What does it mean, improved?
Also with the wire,
Also with the line?
to open it.
To open it, yeah. Oh, this is not a very new instrument, improved. Yeah, okay, no, I see nothing improved. What's improved? Other companies at the same time also came with improved ones. There's also a bell, improved Fox Humana. And I go to another one, Loring and Blake, who patented in 1884. What's improved? With this one, you have the airflow coming in from outside, and you can hear it. You should be able to hear it. But you can also make a different entrance at the back of the organ. Then the airflow coming in this way, then going here inside, and you can't hear anything from the airflow. That's real improved. Loring and Blake refer to it as improved, but you see the same expression of Bell, of Liebig, of several others. Let's have a look. Loring and Blake. From Colmel I got in the palace organ, and here you can read the Fox Humana, and here improved model. I don't have it in my mind, but that's written, it's very new. It's totally not new, because your competitors also did the same. So if people lie today, they also lied 100 years ago. And then some other examples, Ferrand de Voti, very nice. Oh, do you see the difference between the top and the lower? What's the difference between the two? Is there a difference?
Well, that company had split up, so you had them be made two.
Good, yeah. It was Ferrand de Voti and Ferrand. I forgot to sort out who was first. I thought that Ferrand was first.
Ferrand Voti was before Ferrand.
Okay, Ferrand de Voti was before. So, this is the, oh, that's nice. This is the first, that's the second. What's the other difference? Yes, the top is an improved one, because the airflow is going in that way, from the inside to the inside, and that's coming outside. And also with Liebig, oh here, you see the explanation here, the airflow, one is coming in and the other coming out, and that's the not improved. Here is the going out, and here's you see coming in.
But interestingly, the improved one was older than the...
That's old, indeed, yeah. So, don't take it too serious. Don't take it too serious. But it's nice to see where it came from. And then with Liebig, you see the same. The Liebig, also with the two holes on the bottom. Liebig Original, Liebig Vibrator, geruuschloos. Without any sound. And also with here, the airflow going out, or yeah, here it's to the bellows, and here coming in the airflow that way. Good. And in the Liebig you see this one quite frequent. Okay, then some others you see, some have been patented, some have been owned by special companies, and other companies did whatever they found as being good for them and their business. They made it on their own. You see several examples. This was a very huge one I got from Nelson. As you can see, also an improved one, because you don't see the airflow coming in. Then here, and anybody of you saw it before, exemplary?
I have a few.
Yeah, but you don't, and we couldn't find the origin of it. So here, Fox Humana, patent applied for, that's all we could find. A very nice one. And here a very small one. Yeah, a very old one. And even still smaller. And still smaller, because this is moving. Very old. And then at last a buyer, a German builder who had that size. Don't ask me how it was connected. Yeah, it must have been huge. And this is the normal size of what we know. Good. And at last some details. If you see at the valves to close it in this way or this way and this way, all different shapes. Some are having patented, some not. Question. Do you see something remarkable with this one? Very original, like a real carpenter, to minimize the airflow going out, you can put a screw in, a very large one, and by going further, you can minimize that opening, so the blades are going not with the right speed, with it slowing down. And the first time I thought, oh, this is bad. One amateur has been done it. No, it's on purpose by the firm Vermeulen from the Netherlands, who made beautiful instruments. You see also in other instruments this way, very odd. And then the sizes, this one is about this size, the normals, then a very small one, very odd. And you will see then the placement here. You see several of them, different sizes, different shapes, all with the same function, and then size and position. Let me see just short and a few examples. This in a Van der Tak, in a normal position, with their sub-bass. Then some others. Yeah, an Esti. Look, great instrument. How large is the Fox Humana? That's all. And quite original. Not been modified by some amateur. Okay, then a Berlin. Great. Here. Above the tubes. And to be honest, I just saw this week within Dominion. And in one of those I thought, in this Berlin, also in the same, and in the Klavenborn of course. Also yours, the Klavenborn, the same. So also here, you understand, there's no real connection between this wind flow and this specific wind going into that reeds. No, it's more the sounding effect with the blades reflecting it. Okay, oh yes, a Dutch one, a ribbon, for the full length. Full length. Yeah, also very nice. A very special instrument. Not very sophisticated, but I find it very curious to find.
It's a Dutch instrument.
Yeah, a Dutch instrument. Made of just a normal suction instrument. They made a new case around the 3050s, 3060s. Yeah, and very unusual that they put here a special pedal with here the converter, because the motor here uses 120 volt instead of 220. That's normal in Europe. Okay, then position. This swell organ, where is the Fox Humana? Not below where the reeds are. No, on top, here. Does it sound? Yes, for sure. When you open the lid, you can hear it quite clearly. It has effect. And then the last, also of course a Dutch brand, Pedalion, a pedal organ, 2 manual pedals. Here the Fox Humana is behind the forte, the fourth valve. There in the full length it is. Yes, the real Dutch.
And on the full width of the action.
Yeah.
Full width.
Full width, yeah.
And also, between, there was one model in 1941, they had between the keyboards, there was, I don't know how you call that in English, that you can, a glider, that you can change the speed of the Fox Humana.
Okay.
Between
Okay.
the keyboards. I sold that to meneer Van Reenen in Groningen.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I have to visit him.
Yeah, I sold him that.
Okay. And then let's go then. Oh yes. I have still 2 hours to go. Two small items I want to add. No, 3. Now we have the normal suction instrument with the normal, what we understand as normal Fox Humana. Just short, I want to look at the beaters I've seen so far, but if you have more information and pictures and examples, please send them, because I have the impression I don't know yet enough about them. Then I want also to look at the French harmonium, and at last a combination of the harmonium and the suction. So, 3 topics to go. First, the beaters. I found a beater in a Dutch instrument in Vermeulen. Also where that screw was used. And it's a very nice beater. Here, it has a Fox Humana on the treble. And it also has a tremolo. Where is the tremolo? Here have you inner working. And here is the tremolo. On the side, just put on this side. Here. There's a small beater. When you open it, you can see the beater. There it's connected, and here the wind is coming in, going through that piece, and when it's enabled, it's going to do it in this way, open, close. You will see the sound or hear the sound within a minute. It's very effective, and it's up to you whether you like it or not. But it has effect. It's all about 10 centimeters high. Oh yeah, sound. That was for my help. I don't know whether you will hear it. No. I hadn't asked you to put some boxes so that
I can.
it's just.
Where's that microphone? We can put it here.
Oh yes. I guess you will be shocked by it. Yes, virtual. Leave it. Okay, okay. Good. Then I go to some other examples. From one of you, Charlie, I got the example of the Pelobin. I don't know how you pronounce it.
That sounds good.
But oh, it sounds good. Fine. Pelobin. And now, guess what? I gave you the example in the Vermeulen. Built around 1920, 1930. And now the Pelobin is far more older. In the standard organ is the same sort of beater built in. And that has been not on the side, but at the back. It has where all the reeds are. They're above the reed cells. There's on one row. There's built in. Let's have a look. Thanks to Charlie for the beautiful pictures. Here you can see the reed cells. And just in between 2 rows of reeds, there is the connection where it has been put. And when you enable it, it's going to flap in this way and open and close it. So here it's disconnected, you can see very easy. Here by 2 screws, you put it together. Here's the entrance where the the airflow is going out. Very effective. But again, it opens and closes the entrance, so is it Some very impolite people call it not a beater, but a bleater. It sounds like a goat. Someone says, okay.
Yo,
Yeah?
the three manual pedal from Mason and Hamlin, when they started in 1881, that had a beater.
Yeah.
And I have the three manual from 1884. They took the beater away and they put a so-called Humana on top of it.
Yeah.
That's even more accurate.
Yeah.
So I will rebuild the original beater
Okay.
again. But still in 1890 they had the beater on the three manual.
Yes, but we'll see also an example. Yeah?
I don't remember that on the
Okay.
two manual, but
I-
three for sure.
No, as I said, on the beaters I present what I found,
Okay.
but if you have more, please tell me. And the beater here is referred to as the tremolo. And also on the tremolo you have the Vox Humana and tremolo. Okay, here just the explanation from Don, who had it, Don Shoemaker, has also a Prince, and here to open and to close it, there at the back, and here you can find it in the Prince instruments, that they have also a beater. Regarding the beaters, then with Prince, there's the principle just to open and close it by a valve. Its valve is going up. When it's fully filled, by the movement it opens, and by this spring, or how do you call it? Weight. Okay, so by weight, it's pulled down, so it's going up, going that, down, up. It opens and closes, but it gives some noise. In fact, it's ugly, but okay. Yeah. And of course, when it gives some noise, there will be an improved beater. Yeah. Here is the American organ in 1892. There was an example. This is an example found there in the Netherlands. That's a brand, an original Dutch brand, for marketing reasons, with the name American organ.
Gilles van der Tak.
Yeah, van der Tak, from Rotterdam. And here in the BT, had nothing to do with the beater. Yeah. BT, also that's the tremolo, just as an example. If you know how it looks like from the internals, let me know. And here from an unknown brand, Jim, thanks. Another construction, here it just by some weight, here connected, and that's moving in some way. And then last, also a patented, that's a beater for the Parker's patent, being sold by Ingalls. Ingalls is also, yeah, sorry, but the label was not better. Parker's free valve tremolo from Worcester, sold by Ingalls, with a complete explanation how you should use it. And this had a very specific characteristic that it's noiseless, no moving parts. Here, it's just moving by the elasticity
Of the brass.
something like that, of the brass, moving this way. Good. Okay, that about the beaters, just a bit shorter. Now a very short step too. We have seen now the suction instruments. Is there a Vox Humana also in the pressure instruments?
Yes.
Yes, there must be. That effect must be. But is there it's named tremblant? You see it on the band, the tremblant. Or tremolo, tremolo, and maybe something else. We'll see. How is it there affected? Anybody an idea? It must be possible, knowing that it has a sound effect, that the blade is going to be used. But when we look in an Alexandre or in an, I had the example of a tomboy, when you open a pressure instrument, then every voice has a special, how do you call it?
Rechamber.
Rechamber, yes. That's per voice. So when you are going to change the wind pressure, you have to do it by voice chamber. So it's only working for one single voice in the treble or in the bass. And in this example is, and that's very odd, a 16 feet clarinet in the treble. And that's also done here by just a simple valve with some weight going up and down, according when you open the wind channel, yes or no. Here open, and here the owner did some tape around it because the weight was just moving too easy. But you can change the weight and move it to give it a repeating effect. This is the tomboy. Very, very simple. Have a look at the Rodolphe and a very early Rodolphe. A Rodolphe, a French brand, with all the stops in front of the key of the keys. And when you have there was a tremolo. This is one from the Belgium Museum. Then here also is 16 feet in the treble. And do you see what they used? For the weight. The weight is not movable. They used just an old reed. Here the reed, a bass reed with a block at the end. And there they connected, that's all. Quite simple. Quite simple, it was just connected there. Yeah. Okay, but also here, the effect is, yeah, you like it or not. And a Richard 1880, it was even more sophisticated, but the effect was even terrible. But also with the weight, you could change the amount of the effect. And here, this had a tremolo on the bass and the discount and the treble. So the clarinet on the treble and the basson 8 in the bass. Very odd. The 16 feet in the treble used, but you see it in several instruments. Okay. I thought I had to just to present also this in combination here. Then one addition. The Belgian instruments are not very known, but they are very special. Let's have a look. We came across a Belgian instrument of Mr. Zeebroek. And Zeebroek doesn't have any Vox Humana, doesn't have any tremolo. What does he have? A melodia. In the treble and in the bass. What does the melodia do? Yeah, in this one, just by accident, it was removed by the previous owner. But we found out that it was just a normal Vox Humana. Normal. It was officially patented by Mr. Zeebroek. Officially. And he was outside of the instrument, working here, and then on the top, and again working with the sound effect you refer to. Yes? It was very good. Yeah? And he patented that it had the name Melodia on it. Okay. Who was the master engineer working, or the head of the department where all the instruments were put together?
Assembly?
The assembly department. There was Mr. Mazet. Mazet. I can't imagine that that instrument will exist here, or you will see it in Canada or in the US. But it's a very nice instrument we come across from time to time in Belgium. But Mazet was the master, the top of the engineer of the construction department. Later he was working for it on his own, and he made instruments that were sold, and someone else put their name on it, were labeled with their name. So Van der Kerkhoff, also in Belgium. Here you see the two blades, and here this is the winding motor, and this is the winding motor. And maybe you say this has later been done by some hobbyist. No, this was the way that Mazet made it for Van der Kerkhoff. We will see several examples. And very odd, this is real silly. Here you see, again, Van der Kerkhoff used also the name Melodia, in bass and treble, both. And Mr. Mazet at a later stage used them also. He had a tremolo and sometime, no, tremolo. But what was the name he was given? Maybe because of legal rules, he didn't dare to use the name melodia. He used the violoncel in the bass, that was that Vox Humana, and in the treble it was the Vox Celeste. Very odd. And also some models I've seen, that it was referred as Vox Human. It was coming back. And in his catalogue is also being advertised, this model, with in the treble, the Vox Human, in the bass, with the violoncel. And here you see, this was a very sophisticated model. You can see also in the case, but also here, this was the bass, that's the treble. Here you see the Vox Human, and here is the motor built in. 3 pictures to go. Another Mazet, and you see Ben Roemendaal from Belgium, the owner of the museum. He found the effect of this motor very limited because there is a small hole just blowing to that because it's pressure. And it was blowing just in the air. So he said, don't bother, I take something plastic, I put it in, then has it more effect. But very odd that the original design was just in the open air, blow, and you will hear what's coming out. And at last, a 2-manual pedal Balthasar Florence. On the top of it is just our old-fashioned Vox Humana. Okay, we started with where it came from. They wanted to have the effect of the human voice. Just the effect was very important. They invested into it. Then came the mass production, and at the end you see tons of these, all the same way. We have looked at the pressure instruments and the combination of it in some of the Belgian. I didn't see it anywhere, only in some Belgium. Yes, all we can say summarizing. The blades, tremolo, mainly with suctions, referred as Vox Humana. Development was mainly done for economical reasons in the later days. The beaters use a different principle, and some of the Belgium have some combination. Okay, and then I go through a catalogue of Sears and Roebuck. What Sears and Roebuck say, the use of the Vox Humana is a matter of personal taste, and your own judgment will tell you when you can use it to best advantage. It's up to you. Thank you. One question left. I'm very interested in other examples and details. If you come across, send me a mail because I want to know it. Yeah.
Are you aware that most pipe organ companies
Yeah, the tremolo.
but the Austin company, a huge beater tremolo. The tremolo is basically a huge Vox Humana. Moeller doesn't use
The
that.
Austin.
Austin pipe organs have what they call beater tremolo. I mean, it's fan tremolo. And
I know a lot of pipe organs in Europe, but Austin, I'm sorry.
a huge
Give me some info. Yeah, Austin, I make note.
And my Fenorian, which someday I'll finish, has a beater tremolo on it. I'm not sure why, but it has a beater tremolo on it.
Phonoreum, the Esti Phonoreum. Oh, really? Oh, I would like to see more. Oh, yeah, we have a Phonoreum in the Redon Museum in the
Because it's
Netherlands.
not possible to put one because everything is in the front.
Okay.
Well, whoever had
Good.
it.
Thank you for your attention. You keep the weight. Thank you very much. Good.
Thank you, Joop.